Well, the time has finally come. It's going to be the last episode of the Chelsea Save. Win, lose or draw. Well, I guess if we draw, it's going to be like extra time and stuff. So win or lose, we've got an FA Cup final and a Champions League final. Hello and welcome to part 22 of my Football Manager 2019 playthrough with Chelsea. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have those two finals. We've got an FA Cup final against Arsenal at Wembley and a Champions League final against Manchester United somewhere else. That's at not Wembley. Right, first things first, let's try and win the FA Cup, because I have a feeling it's the only competition we've got a chance of winning this season, and this is the team we're going to put out there to try and do exactly that. So we've got Kepa in goal, a back four of Emerson, Rudiger, De Ligt and Azpilicueta, with Kovacic and Kante in midfield, Morata up front, supported by Hazard, Barkley and Januzaj. And we finished 5th in the Premier League. I can't remember if I told you that in the last episode or not, so we kind of do need to win these to avoid getting sacked. There you go. My job status is insecure. I have a feeling that it's a case of win the Champions League or get fired. So let's try and win. The FA Cup might be enough. Let's try and win the FA Cup. I know I'm ending the save after this series, so it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things whether I get fired or whether I just resign and retire from this universe and declare myself the greatest manager in the history of Chelsea. But I'd rather not get sacked. I haven't been sacked yet on FM19. That's a record I'd quite like to maintain, especially getting sacked from a save that I distinctly remember complaining about like 8-9 episodes in, that it was just too easy. If I then managed to get sacked a season later, I know that's how things work at Chelsea normally. You win the league, you get fired. I think that's called doing a Chelsea, but I'd rather win the league, win the Champions League, retire as a hero. Januzaj just put us 1-0 up after 2 minutes in the FA Cup final. It's his 8th goal of the season. I might not have done a lot of good in this second season here at Chelsea, but one good thing I have done is bringing Adnan Januzaj back to English football, because he's a superstar. I genuinely think he's been an upgrade over Pedro, who was occupying that role for us last season. What is that even supposed to be? How would... I don't think I understand how offside works anymore. Either I don't understand how offside works, or Football Manager doesn't understand how offside works. But Kovacic, with another corner, swings it in. It ends up back with Kovacic. Can he get it back into the area? He decides to run it towards Hazard, and 11 minutes on the clock. Hazard makes it 2-0. I really hope this isn't us wasting all our goals on the FA Cup. We've got a Champions League to win, boys and girls. That'll do now. 2-0, that's fine. Let's shut up shop and save some goals for Man United. But that was beautiful from Kovacic and Hazard, with a very tasty little finish into that far corner. And we've been rampant early on, playing our more attacking system, the 4-2-3-1. I don't know if I've got the stones to go and do this against Manchester United in the Champions League final, because they do have the potential just to rip us apart if we go and attack them too hard. But certainly early on in this game, and I know it's come from 2 set pieces, but early on in this game we have looked rampant. Kovacic now just running about the midfield again, gives it to Kante. Kante from the edge of the area. I mean, that's a very poor piece of goalkeeping, but he just about gets away with it. Kante could have made it 3-0 there, and 3-0 after half an hour, and the FA Cup is won. We drop back to a deep 4-5-1, counter-attacking, and just don't let Arsenal get past our 2 banks of 4. That would be the plan. But Ramsey now hovering around sort of near the halfway line. I mean, they're no threat here, but it's if they start to carve their way through us that it becomes more of a problem. And we do seem to be struggling with our closing down and our tackling. Even Kante in the middle there, just kind of looking at them as they knock the ball around him. That's not how it's supposed to work. Azpilicueta showing us how it is supposed to work, but lumps it forward towards absolutely nobody, and it just leaves the pressure coming back on us again. But Hazard intercepts, ball over the top to Morata. He's through on goal. Morata makes it 3-0. Who cares? Who cares that we weren't closing down properly? It's 3-0 to Chelsea just before half-time. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Morata is the best striker I've managed on FM19 so far. He's just very, very good. And I've managed Lewandowski and Werner at Bayern Munich. I've managed Sam Merson at St Albans. I've got, what's his face? I can't even remember his name. Icardi, that's his name. And Dolberg in the Chelsea reserves. Morata is the man though. You give him an opportunity and he scores a goal. He's a superstar. Right, we are going to say, yep, that's good stuff. Well done. Keep it up. But we are going to go out there for the second half and just switch it straight around to our more conservative system, because there's just no reason to keep attacking them. We're 3-0 up at half time. let's just not lose the game now. I think we'll give it maybe 15-20 minutes and we're going to drop those wide men back into the midfield as well. Go full on defensive and just not let Arsenal have the ball. That just seems, just keep hold of it, keep knocking the ball around between our 9 defensive players and our goalkeeper, and just have Morata run around a bit in front of him. I might bring Jorginho on in a minute just so that we've got him to sit in front of the back four and get Kante running about as the box-to-box midfielder, because I do like watching Kante run about a bit. But Bellerin now, look, we're forcing, this is better pressing now, we're forcing Arsenal back. They're keeping the ball, but we're forcing them further and further back towards the centre circle, and this is what pressing's all about. Let them have the ball, but then get in there on the counter-attack like Januzaj just has and make it 4-0. Oh, very, very close. Probably should have squared that. He had both Hazard and Morata in the middle waiting for him. That would have been a beautiful piece of counter-attacking if we'd have been able to slot it through. We are going to make that change now and bring Jorginho on for Ross Barkley. Just swap the midfield around a little bit to get... What am I doing? Do I even know how my midfield's supposed to look? Like that. That's what I'm trying to do. And Kante's not having the best of games, but there's not really anyone else to come on for him, so I'll make that one change for now. I am toying with dropping Hazard and Januzaj back even further. Januzaj is now injured. That's not ideal, because Willian's already injured and we might now have to go against Manchester United without a winger. We're going to stick Dolberg on for now, although Dolberg I don't think is in our Champions League squad. I think we took Dolberg out to get the other striker that we signed in, who in himself I think is now injured. I can't even remember his name. You can tell it's been a week since I've played this save. Got all those videos recorded and thought, you know what, I'll save the Champions League final. Here I am, the day the video comes out. I better make that video now. Right, Christensen, we're going to bring him on just... in fact, we've done this before. We're going to... No, I don't know if I've done it in a video before, but we've certainly done it in the league on occasion. Get Christensen sat in between the two of them as a ball-playing defender. Come on now. Push those two forward and remind Chelsea that they did this to win the league once. And we'll just do that. I know neither of them particularly want to play as wing-back, but 10 minutes of doing that seems absolutely fine. We'll go full on defensive and just see out the game. Arsenal have been pathetic. Could they finish above us in the league? Because they've been rubbish. We're much better than they are. We should have finished much higher up in the league. Perhaps all the game needed is for me to have a little bit of a rest. Look, they're all calm, apart from Morata, who's still fired up with 5 minutes to go. I don't know what he's fired up about. There's nothing to be fired up about. He's already 3-0 up. He's that excited at the prospect of winning the FA Cup. And win the FA Cup we have. There we go, look. Where am I? I can't even see myself. Oh, there I am. Blending in with the background. Not really part of the group because I'm on my way out. Everyone knows that that's probably the final trophy that I've won as Chelsea manager. But we'll give it a nice congratulations, lads, anyway. And now we need to carry that form through into the Champions League final against Manchester United. Just one change for the Champions League final then. Alonso comes back in for Emerson at left back. Neither of them are match fit and I don't know why. What's happened to both of them? Where is he? No, that's Ampadu. Emerson, 78% match fitness. Alonso, 70% match fitness. I don't understand. We have got Willian on the bench though, and we've got this weird 12 substitutes in the Champions League final thing. Is that how it is in real life, or is that some kind of glitch? Because it's not like this at any other point in the Champions League, but we've basically got the whole squad on the bench. So we've got the opportunity for the likes of Willian to make an appearance if needed. We are going to go with our attacking system, the 4-2-3-1. Interestingly, according to the pre-match blurb, we've beat Manchester United 4 times in our previous meetings. They've only beaten us once. So we're better than them on form. I do expect a win today. They don't care. But Zola's motivated one of them, and that's the most important thing. So I'm taking some solace from the fact that they're playing quite a defensive looking system, a 4-1-4-1. And they've got Lukaku up front, and that doesn't really scare me. So this is where Lukaku gets a hat-trick. Here you go, here's the first of many. Kepa makes a save. I'm feeling hopeful and positive today. My pre-match tactical advice was I've got to go cautious, got to go counter-attacking. We've ignored all that. I've listened to that advice too many times this season in the league. We're just going to go out there and we're going to try and do to Man United what we did to Arsenal. And we'll either win and I'll be a hero, or we'll lose and I'll get fired. But... yeah, what are you going to do? either way. I want to go down swinging. I want to go down playing Kev football, which I know in theory means get rid of the wingers. But I think if I'd have dropped Hazard for the final, you lot would have probably had some things to say about that. Morata probably should have been first to the ball there. That was a little bit disappointing. But Azpilicueta does win the header there. In fact, that was twice it looked like we should have been winning the ball and somehow lost out on it. It's a worrying sign that maybe Man United want this more than we do. And there's the first of Lukaku's hat-trick. His 26th goal of the season. That's what I get for dissing him, I guess. He's scored before we've even had a shot. 8 minutes on the clock. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. And this could be a long match. This might not go our way. We all said the most common comment we had yesterday was, yeah, you won't beat Man United. They're super overpowered in FM. And, he's well onside. I don't know that they're necessarily overpowered because we won the league last year. They didn't. They weren't even our closest rivals last year. But they've certainly made the right signings, I guess, to turn into a decent team. This time around, Barkley should have scored there. Rudiger with the header. And Barkley kind of hits it into the outside of the post from a quarter of a yard away. Really should be scoring that. Kante fouled, surely, but apparently not. And I'm not happy with how the individual competition between each players is going. We're missing out on stuff we shouldn't be missing out of. And I think United are being a little bit rough with us, and that's just not sporting. It's a Champions League final. Everyone should be playing nice. Januzaj isn't fit. We saw him get injured in the last game. We've got Willian to come on if need be, and everyone knows I'm a Willian man. So if he comes on and scores, then that works for me. I can live with that. We also need to keep an eye on Alonso, who wasn't fit pre-match either. We've got Emerson who can come on for him. And then our final change might actually be able to be a tactical one, or one based on how people are actually playing in this game. Right, assertive. I'm not happy. Why did I say I'm happy? They loved it. They loved the fact that I'm happy. I'm not happy. If that ends up being the inspirational team talk that wins us the Champions League, I don't understand Football Manager anymore. Yes, we've dominated possession, but we've not really had much in the way of shots. We do look like the better team on those stats. Perhaps we just need to get creative. Here we go. Azpilicueta, throw to Barkley, back to Azpilicueta, Kovacic. All the way across to Alonso on the edge of the area. Back to Azpilicueta again. Our fullbacks can find a fullback. Kante now. Out to Azpilicueta. Cross comes in. Doesn't get anywhere near a blue shirt though, but Kovacic is there to tidy up the mess. And it's back with Alonso again. And Kante to Hazard, who's just beaten 3 men and hit the crossbar. My word. Does that gone down as a corner? It was actually a save from De Gea. That's ridiculous. Alonso with the corner now, and we're again second to the ball like we have been throughout this entire game so far, and that's something that we need to fix. I think it's time to make the tactical changes that I have threatened. Why can't we? There we go. So we're going to get Willian on, even though he's not fit, but he's Willian, and that'll do for now. I just want to get him on the pitch because he's been our best player this season. That could have gone anywhere, but we've got Willian on. And everyone's inspired, apart from Kante, who's anxious, and Azpilicueta, who's frustrated. So, probably our 2 most senior players. Now everyone's feeling anxious and frustrated. And we get on Icardi. Ross Barkley's also not playing well. Should we bring on Phil Foden? Is it in his destiny to come on and score the winner in the Champions League final against Manchester United? He'll go down in history as a top City player. Show some passion. Come on now. Let's get even more attacking. And we need to push forward. I'm sort of motivating them a little bit. But there's just nothing. This has been a really nothing. Imagine if this was the real Champions League final. How dull. 1 goal, that's it. Now we've got a red card right at the end just because of frustration, which I can understand. Kante, you are the midfield. Get in there and just midfield them. Is that really it? We're not... All those changes, we're actually not going to get a highlight even. Kante doesn't know which way he's supposed to be kicking, and it's over the top towards Icardi, and we've lost in the Champions League final. I don't want to see you celebrate. I'm going to let Zola do the team talk because presumably I've already been sacked. If we go to double check on here, have I been fired yet? No, I haven't. In which case, better jump before I'm pushed. We're going to resign from Chelsea and retire from football. Boom. That's this save over. If you have enjoyed that, and if you've enjoyed this series, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.